Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope the audio and visuals are clear to each and everyone. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box that the audio and visuals are very much clear to each and everyone out there. Yeah, please just give me a thumbs up in the chat box that the audio, visuals, everything is clear. Yeah, yeah. Good evening, guys. Since there are a lot of students, so I won't be able to reply each one of you personally, but okay. Perfect. So let us start. Yeah. I hope the audio visual is everything clear. Okay, perfect. Perfect, guys. Kindly ignore the comments which are not relevant. Please don't reach in any like odd comments in the chat box because there will be some students who are not interested in studying and they will try to disturb the session as they always do. Here I actually can't help. Yeah. Sure. So let's start with the forms of muscles. So put the heading as the forms of muscles. Put the heading as the forms of muscles. So this is the topic in general anatomy that we will continue right now. This is the topic in general anatomy that I will continue right now. One thing that I want to make it very clear after the video, like after the session, I will delete the video just within 5 minutes. So if you want to attend the session, kindly attend it live, right? So yes. Okay. So write down that the forms of muscles, the forms of muscle depends upon depends upon the arrangement of its fibers. It depends upon the arrangement of its fibers in relation to the line of pull of the muscle. In relation to the line of pull of the muscle, which is a line extending between the origin and the insertion of the muscle and the insertion of the muscle. Now, there are different types of muscles, or I can say there are different forms of muscles. For example, everyone knows that if suppose I'm taking two bones right now, okay, I'm taking two bones right now. Okay, let us suppose this is one of the bones. Okay, let us suppose this is one of the bones, and this is this is another bone that is present. Okay, this is another bone that is present. So this is one bone. Okay, and this is another bone. So if we are talking about the skeletal muscles, if we are talking about the skeletal muscles, so you are very well aware that the skeletal muscles are directly attached to the bones. Okay, the skeletal muscles are directly attached to the bone. So the skeletal muscle is attached to the bones, or I can say both the bones. Okay, so these bones basically it has one point that is called as the origin. It has another point which is called as the insertion. Okay, is having 2 points, the two ends of the muscles. I have already explained in my session. I have okay, okay. I'll not write it behind. Okay. So you guys are very well aware that there are 2 points of the muscle. That the first one it is called as the origin, the other point it is called as the insertion. Okay, and the between part it is called as the belly, which is composed of fleshy fibers. belly which is composed of fleshy fibers. Belly which is composed of fleshy fibers. Now, guys, between the origin and the insertion, okay, between the origin and the insertion, there is something which is extending between the origin and insertion. This is called as the line of pull. It is called as the line of pull. So, line of pull of the muscle, it is a line that is extending between the origin and the insertion of the muscle. No, origin and insertion of the muscle. So, it's the line which is extending between the origin and the insertion of the muscle. So, it is called as the line of pull. It is called as the line of pull. Okay. So, now just coming to the definition again. So, any forms of muscles, okay, the forms of muscles basically they depend upon the arrangement of its fiber. I have already told you that muscles are made up of muscle fibers, right? Muscles are made up of muscle fibers, and these muscle fibers are actually in relation to the line of pull of the muscle. So, line of pull, what is the meaning of line of pull? It is basically a line extending between the origin and the insertion of the muscle. It is between uh, the origin and the insertion of the muscle. Is it clear to each one of you guys? Is it clear to each one of you? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Is it clear to each one of you? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box that this particular point is clear. That what is the line of pull? It is between the origin and insertion. It is in the midline. And all the forms of muscles basically depends upon the fibers. And these fibers are arranged according to the line of pull. Okay. These fibers are attached to the lines of pull. Okay. Rohit, Shri, Vishesh, Jayendra, Shravani, very good. Very good, beta. Perfect. 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 So now put the heading as A. Now put the heading as A. Yeah, everyone. Okay, perfect. Perfect, guys. Hmm, sure. Now put, okay, okay. Just before this, okay, just before this, write down that the muscles with, okay, or you can simply write that the are classified, muscles are classified according to Jibin, yes, I am in Almaty. Muscles are classified according to the arrangement of their fibers, of their fibers. Okay? Muscles are classified according to the arrangement of their fibers into four main forms. Into four main forms. They are classified according to the arrangement of their fibers. Four main forms. The very first one, write down muscles with fibers parallel to the line of pull. Parallel to the line of pull. Now, when I say line of pull, everyone knows that suppose, okay, whenever I say line of pull, you are very well aware with the fact that it is something bit, suppose this is the muscle, and in between the muscle, this is the line of pull, which is extending between the origin and the insertion. Okay. Now, the muscle fibers which are parallel to the line of pull means they are arranged parallel to the line of pull. Suppose this is the line of pull, okay, from A to B, and the muscle fibers will be arranged parallel to this particular line. So the first category is with the muscle, okay, which are consisting of the fibers that are parallel to this particular line, that is the line of pull, which is extending from the origin to the insertion. So over here, the very first one that you guys have to remember, the very first one that you all have to remember, it is quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. Now, when I say quadrilateral, okay, now suppose this is the line of pull. Okay, this is the line of pull, and the muscle fibers will be attached like this, like this. So one of the shape of the muscle, it is quadrilateral. So one of the shape of the muscle, it is quadrilateral. Examples, you have to note it. It is right now. It might be difficult for you people to understand, but as soon as you you have just started with it. Okay, so these muscles will come again and again in every topic. So don't worry about this. So don't worry about this. So the very first example in quadrilateral muscle, it is pronator quadratus. It is pronator quadratus muscle. It is pronator quadratus muscle. It is pronator quadratus muscle. Now, if I just try to show you, if I just try to show you this particular muscle, okay. Now, guys, can you identify the bone with A, the bone with B? Okay, can you identify the bone with A and bone with B? I just want to know if you guys are really relevant with the basic anatomy now. So just tell me, can you identify the bones with A and B? And after that, can you identify this particular joint that is named with C? That is named with C. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for your answers, guys, in the chat box. I'm just waiting for your answers in the chat box. Yes. Aditi Kulkarni, very good beta. It is the radius bone. Yes, it is the radius. Very good, Aditi. It is the radius. Yes. B, it is the ulna. Very good, Aditi. Very good. Yes. B is the ulna. Very good. Very good. Everyone is right. Prikshit, Vaibhav, very good. Rohit, Arsha, Shraddha, Anshul, Atul, Veda, Mehanti, very good. Very good, guys. Perfect. Perfect. Everyone is right. Can anyone identify the C as well? Yeah. Arslan, very good, beta. It is the radio ulnar joint. Yes. It is the radio, not ulnar, beta. Ulnar never participates in the wrist joint. No, it is the radiocarpal joint. It is the radiocarpal joint, or it is the wrist joint. It is not the ulnar joint, right? So it is the wrist joint. Now we are talking about a muscle which is called as pronator quadratus muscle. Quadratus muscle. So this muscle is basically covering the lower portions of the radius and ulna. Okay. So this muscle is basically covering the lower portion of the yes. So this muscle is covering the lower portions of the radius and ulna, and every can one can see that the shape of this muscle, it is quadratus. The shape of this muscle, it is quadratus. You can see the muscle attached, the muscle fibers, they are arranged like parallel to the line of pull. Okay, they are attached parallel to the line of. So okay, between the origin, one is the origin, one is the insertion, and the muscle fibers are arranged parallel to the line of pull. So this is a muscle which is present on the lower aspect of the ulna and radius. You can everyone see, okay, the lower part. I hope this example is clear to each and everyone. I hope this example is clear to each and everyone. Yeah. So we have done with the quadrilateral part. Now coming on to the next part. Coming on to the next part, in which the fibers are parallel to the line of pull. In which the fibers are parallel to the line of pull. That is the strap-like muscles. Okay, that is the strap-like muscle. That is a strap-like muscle. Okay, now these strap like muscles, basically these muscles are like this. Okay, These fibers are not arranged. They are like strap-like. Okay, they are like strap-like muscles. These fibers are like this. They don't have a continuous arrangement. Okay. Now these are of basically two types. These are of basically two types. The very first one, it is with fleshy insertions. With fleshy insertions. And the second one, it is with tendinous insertion. With tendinous insertion. Now, I have already explained in my last class. I have already explained in my last class. Um, I've already explained in my last class what is meant by fleshy, what is meant by fleshy, and what is meant by tendinous. Fleshy आप लोगों को पहले से ही पता है कि basically the muscle fibers are attached, okay, with the help of fleshy fibers. And tendinous, basically the muscle is attached to the bone with the help of tendon. I have already shown you the cord like tendons with the flexion of the interphalangeal joint, with the flexion of the interphalangeal joint. Okay, so this 2 points I have already cleared. I'm just naming the muscles right now over here. Write down the example. With fleshy insertion, it is your famous honeymoon muscle that is called as the sartorius muscle. Okay, and the second one, it is the rectus abdominis muscle. It is the rectus abdominis muscle. It is the rectus abdominis muscle. So we have fleshy insertions, that is called as the sartorius muscle, and with tendinous insertions that is called as the rectus abdominis muscle. So just let's have a look over here in the picture where it is present. So everyone can see that. Now you guys are going to tell me which bone is this. Which bone is this, guys? I'm just waiting for your answers. Which bone is this? Okay, and which bone is this? The part of the bone. Okay, which in totality you already know this is the hip bone, but which bone is this? And you can see that this muscle, that is called as the sartorius muscle, that is called as the sartorius muscle. Aditi, very good beta, it is the femur bone. Yes, it is the femur bone. Yes, Kritika, very good. Anshika, Rohit, Prikshit, Jayendra, Vishesh, Shraddha, Thirimali, Piyush, Lima, Komal, Satvika, Neki, Aditi, very good. Yes, yes. This one it is the ilium. This one it is the ilium. Ilium, ischium, and pubis. Okay, everyone knows this. This is the femur. This is the femur. Yes, this is the femur. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me the joint which is present over here? Okay, this joint and which type of joint? Name and type of joint. Name and type of joint, since this question has been asked in the last exam. So the C I would like to know from you people. Otherwise, you should know that in the thigh region where you have the femur bone, okay, there is a muscle present that is called as sartorius muscle. There is a muscle present that is called as sartorius muscle. Okay, there is a muscle present that is called as sartorius muscle. Yes. Yes, Veda Patil, very good beta. It is the pubic symphysis. Anushka, yes, it is the secondary cartilaginous joint. Yes, it is the pubic symphysis. Yes, it is the pubic symphysis, and yes, it is the type of secondary cartilaginous joint. Yes, yes. Anshika, very good, very good. Adarsh, okay, okay. Perfect, guys. So you should remember that this is the sartorius muscle, and this sartorius muscle is having fleshy insertions on the origin as well and on the insertion as well. So this muscle is having fleshy insertion. Okay. And coming on to the next muscle, that is the rectus abdominis muscle. So everyone can see that we have the rectus abdominis muscle. Okay. These muscles are basically, rectus basically means flat, and abdominis basically means the abdomen. So basically these are flat abdominal muscles. Okay, these are flat abdominal muscles. So rectus abdominis, you can very well see that these are actually arranged according to the line of the pull. Okay, with um, okay, their tendinous insertions are there over here. So this is the rectus abdominis muscle of the body. Okay, ये six abs जो होते हैं ना आप लोगों के, six abs, these are the rectus abdominis muscle. These are the rectus abdominis muscle. So I hope this is clear to each and everyone as of now. So we have already discussed the two major types. Okay, the two major types of the fibers parallel to the line of pull. One is in the form of quadrilateral, other one is like strap-like. Okay, with fleshy insertions that you have already seen in the sartorius muscle. Okay, and with tendinous insertions, it is the rectus abdominis muscle. Okay, coming on to the third one. Coming on to the third one in this particular category, that is fusiform. Coming on to the third one in this particular category, it is the fusiform. Fusiform. So this is the third one. Strap-like, fusiform, fusiform, fusiform. अश्वनी ठीक है भैया, फीमर तुमने बोल दिया, आई मीन इट्स ओके। वो पहले वाला आंसर दे रहे हो शायद तुम लोग। So basically these muscles are having fusiform appearance like this. Okay, these muscles are having fusiform appearances like this, and the example you have to remember, it is the lumbrical muscles. It is the lumbrical muscles. It is the lumbrical muscles. So these are having fusiform appearance, and that is the example that you guys have to remember. It is the lumbrical muscles. So I will try to show you the lumbrical muscles. Okay, you can everyone see that this is the muscles over here. These are called as lumbrical muscles. Lumbrical muscles. Now, can anyone name this bone that is marked with A? Okay, can anyone name these bones which are marked with A? Can anyone name these bones which are marked with A? So you guys will have an idea that these muscles are attached to which regions of the hand. Everyone knows that this is the hand. Okay, this is the hand. And these muscles are basically attached to the hand. And which bones of the hand, you guys have to tell me. Which bones of the hand these are attached? Yes, Aditi, very good. Very good. It is not metaphalanges Vaibhav, it is metacarpal. Yeah, Aditi, very good. Yeah, these are actually the lumbrical muscles. These are actually the lumbrical muscles. Okay, these are actually the lumbrical muscles. Okay, that you can very well see on the hand. You can very well see on the hand. Yes, everyone is right. Everyone is like perfect, perfect, beta. So yes, this is like the A part is over right now. The A part is over. That is muscles with fibers parallel to the line of pull. So I hope all the like three types is clear. Fibers parallel to the line of pull. The quadrilateral muscles. The example is pronator quadratus muscle. Okay. The strap-like with fleshy insertion, it is sartorius. With tendinous insertion, it is rectus abdominis. And the fusiform, it is the lumbrical muscles. Lumbrical muscles. I hope this is clear to each one of you. So just give me a thumbs up, guys, that these points are relevantly like clear to each one of you. These points are like clear to each one of you. Yes. I'm just waiting for your answers. Meanwhile, I'll just drink water. Sure. Perfect. 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 Let us just continue now. Okay, perfect. Now we will deal with the B part now. We will deal with the B part now. Muscles with fibers. Muscles with fibers oblique to the line of pull. Pull with pinnate attachment. With pinnate attachment or arrangement लिख लो, more correct. With pinnate attachment or arrangement. Now, let us understand this, guys. The very first one in this category, it is unipinnate. It is unipinnate. Now, what is happening? The fibers are basically attached to the muscles. Okay, for example, this is the suppose this is the pinnate बता रहा हूँ बता रहा हूँ. It's just like the feather. Okay, Apeksha, it's just like the feather. So suppose let us just understand with the help of a diagram. Wait, pinnate बता रहा हूँ बेटा. Just wait. It is just like the feather. For example, this is the tendon. Okay, and to this tendon, the muscle fibers. Okay, are attached to the tendon like this. This is called as pinnate arrangement. This is called as pinnate arrangement. Beta, you can see over here, pinnate basically means like the wings of a feather, which are very much symmetrical. Okay, so you can very well see over here that this is something called as the pinnate arrangement of the muscle. Okay, they are arranged like this. Okay, like the wings of a feather, they are basically attached to the tendon. Okay, so these are what? These are fibers. These are muscle fibers. These are muscle fibers. So these muscle fibers basically are attached to one side of the tendon. They are attached to one side of the tendon, like, okay, like half of a feather, or like you already know the wings of a feather, so you don't need to like write this. So it is somewhat like this. So these muscle fibers are basically they are attached to one side of the tendon. Okay, and example it is extensor. It is basically a symmetrical nature, a curved area basically, which is no like getting inserted into the tendon like this. Okay, pinnate basically means these arrangements which are very much symmetrical in nature. Okay, and it is extensor, pollicis, longus muscle, extensor, pollicis, longus muscle, extensor, pollicis, longus muscle, extensor, pollicis, longus muscle. Let me show you where this muscle is present. Okay, so they are basically like arranged, these muscle fibers. Okay, suppose this is the muscle, everyone can see that this is a muscle which is like between the radius and the ulna. Okay, it is on the lower aspect as well. Okay, it is like the diaphysis part. Okay, and the epiphysis part also, it is like covering half of the epiphysis part also. Yes, So you can very well see that this is the extensor pollicis longus muscle. Okay, it is extending from the mid of the shaft of the ulna. Okay, you can see this ulna. It is getting attached to the radius as well on the lower aspects, and it is like getting attached to the styloid process even of the radius, right? So this is something that you have to know about the extensor pollicis longus. About the extensor pollicis longus. We will study the names of the muscles in detail, so guys don't worry at all. So these are just examples. I'm just explaining you like how these muscles are having fibers and how these fibers are arranged. Okay, like in the form of a half feather that you have seen, like the pinnate arrangement as well, right? So don't worry with the name of the muscles. You will be like learning it again with when I will be discussing each of the parts, okay, in detail, in detail. So don't worry with the examples. It's just like you guys have to be okay. The second, write down bipinnate muscle. The second, write down bipinnate muscles. Okay, in the bipinnate, you are very well aware. Suppose this is the tendon. Suppose this is the tendon, and to this tendon, basically the muscles are attached like in the form of full feathers. Both the wings of the bird, like these. The muscle fibers are arranged like these. In the previous category, the muscle fibers were like parallel. Okay, they were parallel to one another. Over here, the muscle fibers are like these in the form of curve shape, in the form of feather of the birds, and they are almost symmetrical. That's why, yeah. So you can see that this is a bipinnate arrangement. This is a bipinnate arrangement. Okay. So remember that these fibers are attached to both the sides of the tendon. They are attached to both the sides of the tendon, both the sides of the tendon. Okay, and it is like complete feather. And example, just remember it is the rectus. रेक्टस का मतलब होता है स्ट्रेट या फ्लैट जिसको बोलते हैं रेक्टस फेमोरिस मसल rectus femoris muscle is called as the rectus femoris muscle. Rectus femoris muscle. So in the rectus femoris muscle, basically this is the muscle that you have to like get in touch with. Uh, so it is also a muscle of the thigh. So you can see that it is also a muscle of the thigh. So it is extending from the hip joint. Okay, it is like extending over which bone? It is the femur bone. Okay, so this is something which is called as the rectus femoris muscle. Everyone should know that we are talking about the rectus femoris. Femur basically means the femur, so it is the muscle of the femur bone. Okay, it is the muscle of the femur bone. Okay, so this muscle is basically getting attached to this particular area. Okay, so it is associated with the femur bone, and it is a flat muscle. That's why rectus femoris muscle. And the fibers are arranged in such a way that it is just like in between there is a complete tendon. Okay, and the fibers are arranged both sides parallel. Okay, the right and the left part is symmetrical, so they are attached to both sides of the tendon and in a very symmetrical fashion. So this is somewhat an example of rectus femoris muscle. Okay, this is somewhat an example of rectus femoris muscle. Okay, write down the third one. Write down the third one. The C part, that is multipinnate. Multipinnate. Write down the third one, that is the multipinnate muscle. That is the multipinnate muscles. So remember that these muscles are basically, they are series of bipinnate bands, basically lying side by side. Okay. The tendons are not present from origin to insertional part. Tendons are something very much different. Tendon has nothing to do with the muscle. Tendon is actually attaching the whole muscle to the, what we say, um, bone. Okay. So the muscle has basically like two parts, origin and insertion. Okay. So okay, I'll discuss the mechanics also. Wait, Malik. Just let me complete this, then we'll come to that also. So basically, what is happening that in multipinnate we have a series of bipinnate bands. Now we have series of bipinnate bands, like you can see um, the structures of leaf. Okay, the structures of like leaf. So these are like in groups of two. Okay, in groups of two like, and these are something which is like you have to know. These are bipinnate bands, but these bipinnate bands are lying side by side. So we are giving a special name to it. It is called as multipinnate. Okay, we are giving a special name to it, that is called as multipinnate. So write down that it is a series of bipinnate bands, bipinnate bands lying side by side, and okay, lying by side, and basically the example of this, it is the deltoid muscle. It is called as the deltoid muscle. It is called as the deltoid muscle. For example, now whenever I say deltoid muscle, okay, see, deltoid muscle has three origins. Okay, deltoid muscle has three origins. Now if I'm talking about the deltoid muscle, if I'm talking about the deltoid muscle, you guys are very well aware that it has three origins: one from the clavicle, one from the acromion process, one from the okay, one from the lateral side of the. We have two processes over here, acromion and okay, this is the acromion process, the spinous process you can see from the scapula. Okay, and one is the clavicle. One is the clavicle. So although I will be discussing this muscle tomorrow again when I will be discussing with the clavicle, so you guys have to remember that the deltoid muscle, it has three origins. Okay, it has three origins, and every origin is like a series of bipinnate bands. It is a series of bipinnate bands. फील फॉर आर्ट साइड का नहीं दिख रहा है, देखना भी नहीं है ना साइड का, मैं तो सिर्फ मसल बना रहा हूँ। लेबलिंग से तुम्हें खुद आनी चाहिए ना, तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए कि ये शोल्डर जॉइंट की बात की जा रही है ना, ये तो शोल्डर जॉइंट की बात हो रही है। और आगे की तरफ आपको पता है कौन सी बोन होती है, क्लैविकल। पीछे क्या होती है, कैपुला। ये तो आप लोगों को खुद ही पता होना चाहिए, राइट। तो दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू हैव टू नो बाय योरसेल्फ। और डेल्टॉइड मसल के तीन ऑरिजिन्स होते हैं बेटा, एक तो आगे क्लैविकल की तरफ से हो गया, फिर आपको पता है एक्रोमियन प्रोसेस होता है जो साइड से आ रहा है, और एक स्पाइनस प्रोसेस होता है जो पीछे होता है स्कैपुला के, जो पीछे होता है स्कैपुला के। तो अल्टीमेटली ये तीनों ओरिजिन से ना, क्या कहते हैं, बाइपिनेट बैंड्स निकलते हैं, और ये तीनों आपस में मिलके हम लोग इसको एक यूनिफॉर्मली नेम देते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मल्टीपिनेट अरेंजमेंट। ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मल्टीपिनेट अरेंजमेंट। पिनेट बेसिकली सिमेट्रिकल नेचर जो होता है ना, उसे बोलते हैं। जस्ट लाइक द जैसे एक लीव्स की वेन्स होती है ना, ये एक लीव्स है और उसकी वेन्स हैं, या फिर आप फेदर्स का एग्जांपल दिया था मैंने, फेदर्स का भी लाइक वैसे उसी तरीके से पिन्नेट बेसिकली मीन्स अ सिमेट्रिकल अरेंजमेंट ऑफ द राइट एंड द लेफ्ट साइड. So this is multi-pinnate example of deltoid muscle. और deltoid muscle का एक और बहुत important part that I wanted to convey, that deltoid muscle is the point of giving injections also. IM, that is the intramuscular injections are given on deltoid. You might have like taken injections on your deltoid muscle. Even the vaccines, even the vaccines, okay, even the vaccines also they are given on deltoid muscles. कौन सा वाला नहीं देख रहा भैया? दिस वन, ये तो पूरा उसमें लिखा हुआ है मैंने. अच्छा, ये थोड़ा सा चुप गया है. अ सीरीज ऑफ बाइपिनेट बैंड्स lying side by side. A series of bipinnate bands lying side by side. Okay, feel for art, इसको आप अभी लिख लीजिए और एग्जाम्पल लिखिए deltoid muscle. एग्जाम्पल लिख लीजिए deltoid muscle. Okay. Apart from that, guys, you have to remember one more example or like one more form of this particular muscles. One more form, that is the D part, that is the circumpinate form. Okay, the circumpinate form. Okay, now in this case, guys, you have to remember that when we talk about circum का मतलब क्या होता है? सर्कल का जो circumference होता है, सर्कल का जो circumference होता है उसको ही हम लोग circumference बोलते हैं ना. ओके, द पेरीमीटर ऑफ द सर्कल. तो ये भी जो मसल फाइबर्स है ना, फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज अ सेंट्रली प्लेस्ड टेंडन. टेंडन जो होता है बिल्कुल सेंटर में होता है, अ सेंट्रली प्लेस्ड टेंडन. और इसी टेंडन and on this particular tendon all the muscle fibers are arranged. Okay, we have a centrally placed tendon, and to this the muscle fibers are arranged in a circular fashion. The muscle fibers are arranged in the circular fashion like this. Okay, it is like just like in the form of a circle, just like in the form of a circle. Okay, just like in the form of a circle, just like a wheel shaped structure. So this is the muscle, and this whole muscle is basically getting occupied. This whole muscle basically just like the carts of the wheel. Okay, the wheel carts, okay, गाड़ी का जो पहिया होता है ना बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से होता है और बीच में टेंडन होता है. Okay, for example, if I'm just talking about the tires of the vehicle, okay, it's just like the bullock cart वाला जो वो होता है ना, just similarly like that. It's the tendon is centrally placed. Okay, the tendon is centrally placed, so you have to write down, since I don't have space, so write down that these fibers converge. When I say fibers, we are talking about the muscle fibers. Okay, when I say fibers, we are talking about the muscle fibers. Okay, so these fibers converge from all sides, from all sides on a centrally placed tendon, on a centrally placed tendon, on a centrally placed tendon. Example, you have to write it. It is tibialis posterior. It is tibialis posterior. Example, you have to write down. It is tibialis posterior. Now, example से ही पता चल गया होगा, we are talking about a bone. Which bone it is? It is the tibia bone, and posterior means it is located like on the posterior surface of the tibia. It is located on the posterior surface of the tibia. For example, if I just wanted to show you the tibialis posterior, so everyone is aware that this is the tibia bone. This is the tibia, and this is the fibula. This is the fibula. And if we are talking about, you all can see this is the anterior part and this is the posterior part. So the muscle is basically attached on the posterior surface of the tibia. That's why it is known as tibialis posterior. That is why it is known as tibialis posterior. It is known as tibialis posterior. So these fibers, the fibers of these particular muscles, they are actually arranged like this. We have a centrally placed tendon and all the muscle fibers are getting converged to that particular tendon. So this is a muscle that is called as tibialis posterior. We are talking about the muscle of the leg region. Okay, leg region, basically we have two major bones, the tibia and the fibula, and from anterior to posterior. You can see that the muscle is actually present on the posterior surface of the tibia. That's why it is named as tibialis posterior. That's why it is named as tibialis posterior. So I hope this is clear to each one of you guys. I hope this is clear to each one of you. So guys, just give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up, guys, that this is clear to each one of you, that this particular part is done. So we have discussed the A and the B part. We have discussed the A and the B part. And now I'm going to start with the C part. Vaibhav Aditi, very good. Vaibhav Aditi, very good. Yes, Anishika, Kritika, Ved, Shrimale, Apeksha, Muzaffar. Yes, very good, very good. Shraddha, Komal, Lima, Atul, Shiva, Rajveer, Shorem, Muskan, Anushka, Sahiti, Ajaz, Malik, Naveen, Rakesh, Priyanshu, very good, beta. It's done. So I hope these all four parts are clear to everyone. They are arranged along the tendon, and how these are arranged, I've already told you. Okay. So now coming on to the third part. Now coming on to the third part, that is muscles having fibers oblique to the line of pull without pinnate arrangement. So muscles having fibers basically oblique to the line of pull. Now these fibers are oblique, okay, to the line of pull, and they are not having any symmetrical arrangement. So remember, it is without pinnate arrangement or any symmetrical arrangement. They are not arranged accordingly like the wings of a feather, or just like the veins of the leaf. They are not arranged like that. So they are oblique in nature, just arranged to the line of pull. Yes. Now in this category, write down the first one. It is the triangular. So these muscles are like this, the form of a feather. Okay, like not a feather, like just a triangular form of a muscle. So example, write down temporalis muscle. Example, write down temporalis muscle. Example, write down temporalis muscle. So okay, I'll just try to show you temporalis muscle. Now this is something everyone knows, that which bone is this, guys? Which bone is this? Can anyone tell me the name of the bone? Name of the bone. Everyone is sitting here. So can anyone tell me the name of the bone? That which bone is this? And obviously, you know that these muscle, the these muscles are basically, it is in the form of a triangle, so that is why it is like known as the tempor temporalis muscle, or it's a form of a triangular arrangement. Okay. Yes, it is the temporal bone. Anushka, very good. Vaibhav, very good. Komal, very good. It is the temporal bone. Anshika, Shravani, with Nosh. Yes, it is the temporal bone, guys. And over this bone, the muscle is attached that is known as the temporalis muscle. It 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 is known as the temporalis muscle. Hmm. Temporal bone. अश्वनी ठीक है भैया, एक ही जवाब को 5 बार लिखने से तो कुछ होगा नहीं। पेपर में भी लिखना 5 बार, नंबर एक ही बार के मिलेंगे। चलो, let us continue. So the second type, that is like with pinnate arrangement. The second one, it is the cruciate shaped. Is the cruciate shaped, या फिर हम इसको X shaped भी मसल बोलते हैं। See, when I'm saying X shaped, it doesn't indicate your ex boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay, it is cruciate shaped, just like in the form of the X. Okay, it is just like in the form of the X. So don't land up your feelings over your X right now. We are discussing the cruciate shape, the X shaped muscles. Okay, so now these X shaped muscles are just like your ex boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm saying just like. So example, write down over here. Example, write down, it is the masseter muscle. It is the masseter muscle. So this is the muscle of the jaw which helps in mastication. So this is the masseter muscle. This is the masseter muscle. Masseter muscle, just like uh, so this muscle helps in chewing. Okay. और वैसे भी जो your girlfriends and boyfriends basically, or your girlfriends, they always chew your head, right? So this is just by the masseter muscle, or also known as the jaw muscle, or also known as the jaw muscle. It helps in like chewing your head, maybe, but you don't have heads, that I know. So we have already done with it. So the cruciate shape, the example you can just write it down. It is the masseter muscle. It is the masseter muscle. It is the masseter muscle. Now, coming on to the third one, that is the spiral shaped. Spiral shaped. Okay, spiral shaped. For example, if I'm just taking the bone over here, suppose this is the very famous bone. Okay, and on this bone, the muscle is attached in the form of the spiral part. The muscle is attached like this. Okay, in the form of a spiral. Okay, it is just suppose this is the bone. It is going like spiral, or in a spiral manner. Okay, like this. Okay, so that is an example that you have to remember. It is the supinator muscle. AR ट्यूटोरियल से सर एक्स की याद मत दिलाओ। मेरा जैसी तुम्हारी हरकतें हैं, एक्स का तो पता नहीं। जिंदगी भर सिंगल ही रहोगे। एनीवेज, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द सुपिनेटर मसल। पढ़ना नहीं है, बस एक एक्स बोल दिया तो बस अब उसी के पीछे लगे हो। एनीवेज, now guys, you can very well see that this is the radius bone. This is the ulna, and This muscle, this muscle, it is basically attached to the upper aspects of the radius. Okay, that's why it is named as supinator, superior radio ulnar joint. I hope everyone knows about the superior radio ulnar joint. So this supinator muscle is again an example of, like, over here. It is a spiral shaped muscle. You can see how spirally it is covering the upper portion of the radius. How spirally it is covering the upper portion of the radius. Okay, so that is an example of the spiral part. That is the example of a spiral part. Okay. Now, coming on to the last one in this category. Coming on to the last one in this category. The fourth one that you guys have to remember. The fourth one that you guys have to remember. The fourth one that you guys have to remember. It is circular shaped muscle. It is the circular shaped muscle. Okay. Now, for example, this is your lips, your famous lips, and the muscles are basically arranged around the lips. The muscles are arranged around the lips. Okay. That's why the example you have to notice, it is the orbicularis, orbicularis oris muscle, orbicularis oris muscle. So the example over here you have to remember, it is the orbicularis oris muscle. Okay, this is the orbicularis oris muscle. Now this is actually surrounding the lips. So this example you can just see with the help of this particular picture that I'm trying to show you. Okay, so you can see this muscle. So it is in the form of a circular shaped. Okay, and this muscle is basically arranged around the lips. Okay, so that is why it is named as orbicularis oris muscle. This the orbicularis oris muscle. Orbicularis oris muscle. Orbicularis oris muscle. So I hope this is done. This part is done. So please just guys give me a thumbs up that this part is also done. This part is also done. That is the muscles having fibers oblique to the line of the pull without the pinnate arrangement. So just give me a thumbs up, guys, and let us continue with the last one now. Let us continue with the last one now. And yes, Aditi, Inosh, Komal, Mujaffar, Pranay, Prikshit, very good. Shiva, Akshaya, Shorim, Shraddha, Vaibhav, Pranay, very good, beta. Okay, okay, very good. Anshika, Anushka, Lima, Jayashree, Ajaz. There's so many names, like comments are falling off right now. So it's okay. Okay, perfect, beta. Perfect. Harmish, Jessica, Naveen, Malik, feel for art. Perfect. Yes, perfect. ऐसे खतरनाक नाम आते कहाँ से? फील फॉर आर्ट. एक माफिया ऑफ अलमाटी भी है. मतलब ऐसे चैनल, मतलब आते कहाँ से हैं नाम यार, मतलब बिल्कुल ही माफिया. जिंदगी में कुछ किया तो है नहीं, माफिया ही बन जाओ आके कहीं. नहीं? Write down the D part, that is the last part, that muscles with separate head of origin. Muscles with separate head of origin. अलामती अलामती क्या है भैया? Anyways, guys, just leave it. Muscles with separate head of origin. So just like you people, you students have two heads. One is the original head where there is no like brain, 10% brain, 90% is your knee. Okay. Similarly, these muscles have separate head of origin. Okay. Now, for example, the very first one that you have to know is the biceps brachii muscle. We have the biceps brachii muscle. So this is the insertion, and we have two heads. Okay, we have two heads of origin, two heads of origin, and the common example that all the muscle people over here have, it is like the biceps muscle. The biceps brachii बोलते हैं because it is in the brachium part, so it is the biceps muscle. I would like to show this muscle to everyone, and everyone is like aware of this muscle as well. So we'll just have a, so this muscle is basically present in the or it is attached to the humerus bone. So you can see that there are two origins. There are two origins and one insertion. This is the insertion and this is the origin. We have two origins. So two origins are there and you can see both the fibers. They are clubbed together in the middle of the, what we say, the humerus, and later on it is like inserted into the ulnar and the radius aspects. Okay. Okay. So origin and insertion we'll talk about later on. Okay. So it is attached to the lower bones. Okay. And it, these muscles have two origins. One is originating from some other place. One is originating from some other place. Right. So yes. So I hope this is done. The biceps muscle. So completing the flow chart. So you have to remember the second one over here. Biceps muscle is done. The first one. The second one you have to know we have three heads of origin. Okay, we have three heads of origin. Okay, just I'll draw it. We have three heads of origin. So it is somewhat like that. Okay. So we have three heads of origin. So this is one head. Okay. This is another head. And this is another head. So in totality, we have three heads. And this is something called as triceps muscle. This is something called as triceps muscle. This is something called as triceps muscle. And this is having three heads. It is having three heads. So I will be just trying to show you guys over here in the picture. Biceps, I think already you guys have done. The biceps, basically you can see the two heads and one insertion. Coming on to the triceps one. So basically the triceps has lateral head, the medial head, and the long head. There was a question in exam, one of like in FMGE, I don't know which year, they have asked one question that which like origin, okay, which is not the origin of triceps, lateral, medial, long, and short. So the answer is short. Triceps have long head but not short head. Triceps have, basically this is on the lateral side, so it is the lateral head. This is on the medial side, so it is the medial head, medial in between, and one is the long head of triceps. So triceps has basically three head: the lateral, medial, and the long head. The lateral, medial, and the long head. So the triceps has three heads: the lateral, medial, and long head. Triceps have three heads: the lateral, medial, and the long head. Yeah, coming on to the third and the final part of these category of muscles. The third category of muscle, that is the quadriceps muscle. the quadriceps muscle with four heads, with four heads. Now these are the muscles which is having four heads and one insertion. So there is one head, then we have a second head, okay, then we have third head, and at last we have fourth head. So we have four heads. Okay, we have four heads, and so you can just draw it nicely as well. Just draw it. We have four heads, and this is something which is referred as quadriceps muscle. Okay, it is referred as the quadriceps muscle. So you can easily see it over here as well. Now on the femur bone, on the femur bone, basically you can see that there are four like quadriceps muscle. This in totality, it is called as quadriceps muscle. In totality, it is called as quadriceps muscle. And basically, we have four heads over here. It is called as vastus, basically means the quadriceps only. The lateralis, okay. Then in between, we have the rectus femoris muscle, okay. Then we have medialis, and one it is called as the intermedius, okay. लेटरल है, लेटरालिस पे, medialis हो गई, बीच में intermedius और उसके ऊपर rectus femoris की sheath होती है. So in totality it is called as the quadriceps muscle. In totality it is called as the quadriceps muscle. Okay. अश्वनी, वीडियो को थोड़ा सा पीछे ले जाओगे ना तो वो आ जाएगा. इसमें ये वाली दिक्कत नहीं है कि मतलब कि आप लोग को दिखने में इशू होगा. द रीजन इज कि आप लोग वीडियो को 5 10 30 सेकेंड्स पीछे भी कर सकते हैं. अभी पता है चैटिंग वैटिंग करनी हो तुम लोगों को तो तुम्हारे हाथ की स्पीड तो मुझे पता है ना कहाँ तक जाती है. तेजी से बिल्कुल ही एकदम 64 kps की स्पीड से तुम लोग टाइपिंग करते हो. मतलब मैं 5 10 मिनट का टाइम दूंगा, डिलीट नहीं करूंगा तुरंत ही. मैं इतना भी वो नहीं हूँ कि बिल्कुल ही तुरंत ही चीजें कर दूं. प्रियांशु, कह तो रहा हूँ टाइम दूंगा. मैं मेरे पे विश्वास ही नहीं अश्वनी, फिर मैं क्या करूँ बताओ. जो मेरे पर विश्वास नहीं रखोगे, अपनी टीचर पर ही भरोसा नहीं है, फिर क्या ही फायदा है. फिर तो मत पढ़ो तो. अतुल देशमुख सेज भरोसा नहीं है सर. अतुल, सैटरडे को मिलेंगे, तुम्हें भरोसा हो जाएगा मुझ पे. Now guys, this is something that I have drawn previously. So this tendon you are going to name me. This tendon, the name of this tendon. An example I'm telling you, it is digastric muscle. It is digastric muscle. This is something which I have told you. So I want the name of this tendon. Just tell me the name of this particular tendon. बोलिए भैया, नेम ऑफ द टेंडन. Yes, Vaibhav, very good. Yes, yes. It is the intermediate tendon. अक्षय सेज क्रिकोथायरॉयड, बेटा क्रिकोथायरॉयड कहाँ पड़ा था? ये इंटरमीडिएट टेंडन है और इसका एग्जांपल लिख लीजिए आप लोग, डाइगैस्ट्रिक मसल which connects two fleshy belly muscles together that I have already discussed in the last class. You guys are not studying, I suppose. So that is the digastric muscle that you guys have to remember. So you can see the digastric muscle. It is basically, the muscle is actually attached with the help of a tendon, and that tendon is called as intermediate tendon. Intermediate tendon. Okay, it is called as the intermediate tendon. Yes, everyone is right. Yes, it is called as the intermediate tendon. I hope all the four parts are clear as of now. All the four types that I have discussed with you people, these are clear with you. So the A part, fibers parallel to the line of pull. The second one, fibers oblique to the line of pull. The third one, the fibers oblique to the line of pull without pinnate arrangement. The former one was with pinnate arrangement. It is without pinnate arrangement. And the last one, it is having separate heads of origin. It is having separate heads of origin. Okay, guys. I hope this is done, everyone. Yes, I hope this is done, everyone. So yes, some parts are left, but I will be discussing it. Like you will be doing it as homework. So yes, any doubts? Like I would be happier to address it. Now, yes. Goodbye, guys.